Please stand clear of the podcast. Por favor, manténgase alejado de la podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Diz Idiots podcast for today, July 13th, 2021, here from the Creaky Tiki Studios. I am your host, Dozer. That is your other host, Bruce. And we're bringing you all the news from around the world. Disney World. I think that was creepy.
A little bit.
I'm getting used to this new microphone and being way too close to this camera.
You're chewing the scenery there, buddy.
Yeah, I got to work on that, but that's not for in the middle of a recording session. So we're just going to have a floating head for a time being.
People have talking heads. We got floating heads, which fits right in with Madame Leota.
Ooh, what do we got with Madame Leota today?
Nothing. It's just floating heads, Madame Leota.
I don't know what that was, but that's what we're going to say there. But,
Okay.
you know, we had some news coming from Disney World this week, including the abolishment, the good riddancing of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
That's right. It's very merry, not so scary, and it's outta here. Mickey's Very Merry is being replaced by Mickey's Very Merriest After Hours. Disney's Very Merriest After Hours celebration. Again, under the After Hours umbrella. It is a very merry style of party, but just like Boo Bash is changing things, certain things we're not doing now, such as because of everything that's been going on. So there will be characters, but maybe not necessarily meet and greets. Minnie has a fireworks display. There will be treats, of course, and including your mission. And from what I read, my understanding of it, it's not just like cookies. It'll be treats, popcorn, and bottled drinks. Now, I know a lot of people might be thinking, what about my hot chocolate? Well, I don't know. Do they consider it a lid on top of it bottled? I don't think so. So their hot chocolate, maybe it'll be cold chocolate milk.
Well, it's still Florida. So cold chocolate does work, but you know what? One, the name is worse. Look, when I hear After Hours, I am not thinking Disney. I'm thinking Skinamax.
Yeah, but After Hours has been the thing they've been doing for a while now. I admit, when I see the Disney After Hours thing, all I can think is money, money, money.
Wow.
That's all this is about. Is some exclusive ride time. But I think it is a good idea. I like Very Merry back in the day, but it's just like with Not So Scary being Boo Bash taking over for Not So Scary. It's time to change. Not just with everything going on, with parades not happening and such. Fireworks are back, luckily. But it's just, these things, they need to change after time. It gets stagnant. And you have the same people back. And frankly, the parties are getting more crowded and you're getting less of what you're paying for. I think it's about time they change things up. I think it's going to be a good thing. Maybe not necessarily this year. Maybe it'll have a rough year. Maybe it'll be excellent. Who knows? Of course, there'll be merchandise because, well, money.
Yeah, you know, all in all, I didn't like Very Merry when I went to it. To me, the only appeal of Very Merry, because, you know, I live in the Northeast. We live in the Northeast. Snow is not a thing that attracts us.
And yes, there will be fake snow. Do not worry. Your soap bubbles ain't going anywhere. Oops, was I supposed to say that on camera?
So, snow, no, it's no big deal.
Snow go.
So, you have that. I never cared for the Castle Forecourt stage shows. Like, they've just never been a thing to me. I've never found one I liked. I've always found it an awkward place to watch a show. So I didn't care about that. Exclusive ride time. Well, now you can get that all year round with the After Hours brand. So that ain't that special. The Very Merry fireworks were not that very exciting.
Well, you mean holiday wishes?
I'm just calling them the Very Merry fireworks.
Well,
and You know the only thing I liked about the Very Merry Christmas Party. You know the only reason I went to the Very Merry Christmas Party.
Scrooge McDuck.
Exactly.
Got that one. It got it in one.
So
yeah, we'll see. The stage show was nice. I will admit I didn't like the new stage show as much as the old one. But again, you gotta change things up. Gotta give people the reason to come back. I also believe in the read-ups I've read about the transformation of the castle. Don't expect to have icicles necessarily, mainly because what's this year? Duh, if you've been living under a rock, it is the 50th. They've already done something to the castle. So what? We're going to have the crane there for the 50th? I don't think so.
You never know. They've made more bonehead moves in their life.
No time. I think they're focused on too many other things.
Well, as long as they don't make it a cake, I'm okay.
Not making it a cake, even though I like the cake castle. I thought it was cool. Though I will admit, nothing beat at the end of the holiday season when I was on my PI down there in the middle of park operations, and all of a sudden the Main Street gate opens, and here comes the boom truck. Here comes what? Get that, people! Get that out of here! That was excellent. Fun times.
So yeah, the cake castle was good, but that's not a Disney World thing. That is something you put in Disneyland. As we all know, that's where the returning guests go. You have too many people that are getting their once-in-a-lifetime trip in Disney World.
But then why do anything to the castle?
Look, is my last name Eisner, Iger, or Disney? No.
I don't know. So, is it Chapek?
I don't care.
Chapek.
They're not getting that one. No. Not
acknowledging it. We do not acknowledge that hire.
Who?
Yep, exactly.
So, coming from the Christmas party, the Christmas parties starts. I don't know when they're starting the after hours. Probably sometime around Halloween.
No, November 8th, I believe.
Ooh, they're waiting a week. How very cordial of them.
They have been waiting a week for the last few years.
But, that brings us up to our recurring segment of, does Dozer have a room?
Does Dozer have a room?
Dozer does not have a DVC room, but Dozer does have a pool view at Jumbo House.
Jumbo, baby! All right!
It may not be my studio, it may not be a one-bedroom, but just today, for a $95 booking fee, and probably way more points than I wanted to spend, I've got a hotel room at Jumbo House.
They can't make it special dispensation. Whatever. You got a room at Jumbo House. All right. I don't have.
All right.
Back to that.
So you know what? We got our room at Jumbo House. We began making our park reservations, and there was one day on our trip. I want to say it was, December 4th, where only one park had reservations open.
Yikes.
But it's not the park you'd think that would have reservations open.
Magic.
Hollywood.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Meg was telling me this. I'm like, what? Hollywood? I thought that'd be the first one to go.
Usually.
I thought you'd tell me Animal would have some open, or, anywhere but Hollywood. I thought, because we're doing 2, potentially 3 reservations at Hollywood to try and ride your bane of your existence. Look, my dear wife, she loves me. She really does. And I have not been to Star Wars Land at all yet. And she knows
I don't blame her, and I don't blame you, and I want to try. I want to go on it myself, but it shouldn't be this hard to ride something you are paying for. Listen up, Disney. It shouldn't be that hard.
Hey, maybe I can pay extra and just get on.
Wouldn't that be great? But of course, when they do eventually roll out paid fast passes, get what attraction's not going to be there. Why? Oh, that's right. We don't have line space for it, apparently, because we built an attraction without a line queue.
The way I have read what will be happening with that one is there are just some boarding groups that are going to be paid.
Oh, it's terrible. The system is so that's what's really going to be great. And when you pay for those and can't get, those are going to obviously fill up fast. Now we have a premium attraction because most regular guests, we're going to cut the regular guest in half that can go on this because that's a great idea.
Hey, at least it's a good attraction, unlike every premium attraction ever at any other amusement park. Because, everybody just wants to pay an upcharge to ride the Sky Coaster or the Salt and Pepper Shaker or
Sunshot
go-karts. Yes, I have paid $90 to go to Cedar Point today, and I'm going to pay an extra $30 to ride them go-karts.
I just can't get over it. I'm sorry. I don't see how people... I seem to be the only one who's really bothered by this, so people are tired. I don't want to turn our viewers away, but here he goes again.
Hey, we have a question from our audience. From my good buddy Phil, when is Tron opening? Eventually.
2022? Probably. That's what it's looking like. I'm thinking that maybe Guardians opening up then as well, but the Tron is opening in...
Eventually.
One day. I'm just saying, not like a park could build a whole roller coaster, open it, great reviews before you can even finish two. But, beside the point, Velocicoaster.
One day more.
But Tron will be here. Tron will be worth the wait. Even though, it's gonna have an entire virtual queue. It'll be fun. For most, it will be because it'll be. You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be like the flying coasters. It's gonna be the novelty of riding in a different position. For most people, it's not gonna be the worth wait in line. I just mean it's gonna be worth the wait for it to be built correctly. That's what I'm referring to. I'm not referring to the wait because it's gonna be virtual queue and you're not gonna be able to ride it anyway because after Rise of the Resistance without guests complaining enough.
Bruce, don't be so hard on the virtual queue because you know what this ride has? You know what the Tron coaster has that Rise of the Resistance doesn't?
A queue?
Capacity.
Yes, it does. That is fact. That is fact right there, which is funny because you would think the floorless style would have enough capacity. But again, I digress. Let's not go there. I know it's going to have capacity. I'm just, again, the entire virtual queue thing, I'm not high on. I know it's still good. It's, again, you're just doing your waiting elsewhere. There's still a queue. You're going to have to wait some time in.
Here is my problem with virtual queues, because apparently this is the tangent we're going on today, people. My problem with the virtual queues is the same problem I had with Fast Pass, and especially the Fast Pass Plus, because this is where you really felt it. And that is especially at parks like the Magic Kingdom. These paths are not built to hold all these people. They need to go somewhere, and if they're not standing in a cattle queue somewhere, they're standing in the middle of the path. I'm running into them. I'm getting my ankle run over by an ECV. It's going to be a bad time. Now, in a place like Animal Kingdom or Epcot works great. They have great big paths. They got boulevards just going everywhere except, Morocco. But
actually, the boulevard's at a different park again. I digress. Continue.
Look. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
I did. I just did.
Hey, look, that guy. Bella just had me read her Monsters, Inc. 2 nights ago. Which, for a kid's book that was approximately this thick,
oh boy,
took like 45 minutes to read. Now, mind you, some of these Disney books you read these kids are like, and she turns into a real girl. And then they kissed. And then they defeated Ursula. The end. Like, there's nothing. This book, every little detail. But I got to break out my Roz voice.
Wazowski. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Oh, yeah, But I read that book to her. It was a good time. So, I think this spun somewhere from the fact that December, going to Disney, We got park reservations. Hollywood Studios a couple times. Magic Kingdom. I think we have one day in Epcot and one day in Animal. Not bad for a long weekend.
Not bad at all.
At what point does a long weekend become a short week?
That is.
That is the question of the day, folks. At what point does a long weekend become?
I would say once you cut. I would say a long weekend is 3-4 days max. Once you cross into 5, it's a short week.
Sounds good. I can dig into that.
I think that would make sense. Once you really start pulling away. Oh, we're going for a long weekend. How long are you going for? 7 days. It's one of those. I'm going for 6 days. That's not a long weekend. That is just a day shorter than a week here, kids.
You're right. So, there was some other Disney news. Oh, here we go. After a long time coming, and it really is a long time coming, I am excited to see this. We're getting some changes to Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Yes.
Thank you, as they are adding in a scene from Coco.
I dig it.
I dig it.
It'll be a nice addition. Listen, I was not a fan of the movie as such. It's not a bad movie. I did not like a lot of other people did. However, visually, Coco is very pleasing. It'll be nice to hear the music, and it'll just be a nice scene to include. It is about time that got some sort of upgrade. It's
an easy attraction to update. That's the thing.
Should be an easy attraction to update. Should.
But when these attractions aren't getting the love they need, that's what hurts me. I remember the last time I got on PhilharMagic, and there were like 3 people in that theater, and I'm like, dudes, it's like 100 degrees outside. Don't you like air conditioning? Who cares if it's good? That's the only reason people do Hall of Presidents. It has air conditioning.
I like PhilHar. I always have. It is fun. It is a nice little escape. But the problem is, once I've done it a couple of times, tough to be a bug. I don't really have to do it each time because I've done it enough times. So it is nice to see it getting upgraded. This may lead to more upgrades. Depending on how well I guess it does audience-wise. Or, folks, I'll just say this about good old PhilharMagic here. You actually touched on something, so we'll go a little tangent here.
Ooh.
When you go to the park next, go on PhilharMagic. If there's an attraction I haven't been on in a while, go on it. You know why? Because one day you're going to turn around. Ain't going to be there no more because you didn't go on it. Go on PhilharMagic. And yes, I'm segueing this to myself. Go see the Country Bears.
Absolutely.
Don't forget the Bears. Just because otherwise one day you're going to turn around and PhilHar ain't going to be there. PhilHar will be replaced by something else musical themed, I'm sure, because
probably a 4D movie.
Why use the space for anything else at this point?
But you know what? You are right. You should absolutely go ride a ride that you haven't ridden in a long time, unless it's the Line Simulator, the ride, because nobody needs Swiss Family Robinson. Nobody.
That I don't count Swiss Family Robinson. I don't acknowledge. It's like Tom Sawyer Island. I am not going to acknowledge that exists.
In all seriousness, does anybody even know who they are anymore?
No. Is that attraction
the only thing holding them to the realm of the dead? Or are they going to die the final death?
I don't know, but when you're looking at that, you can just see, oh look at this thing here on our right. Just walk straight in the tiki room. They need your love to.
In the tiki room, where the birds sing words and the flowers croon. In the tiki room. The original upcharge attraction. And we have come full circle, ladies and gentlemen, on this grand circle tour of Disney and all the news that surrounds it. That is like a tour of Epcot was a segue. Yeah, it's bad. So also on my news here, apparently we have gotten a reimagined Citricos.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
It's themed with nods to Mary Poppins Returns, a movie nobody saw.
Wait a minute. A Mediterranean restaurant is themed to Mary Poppins with
A
huh?
Mediterranean restaurant themed to Mary Poppins in a Floridian themed hotel.
Just saying, wouldn't a Mary Poppins themed restaurant be, I don't know, in England at Epcot?
Bruce.
I know. I don't care. I'm not a big Mary Poppins fan. I guess it's a nice thing, but still, it is supposed to be Mediterranean, so.
Okay, so it's Luca themed. Which is
I'd be okay with that. Luca is a nice, fun film. I'd be okay with that. I would be very okay with something Luca themed.
I really enjoyed Luca. We've watched it twice so far, and it's one of the better Pixar's. And it's my God, does it hit the Italian family experience?
You know what? It's just a very nice. It's not out to tell some big. Listen, it's like Soul was a fantastic movie. I loved Soul. Soul had a nice, meaningful message. It did. This isn't here with a nice, really big message like that, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a knock on the film. It's nice. It's enjoyable. It's got heart. It's got a lesson. It's got everything. Every story has a lesson. I do enjoy it. It's just a fun little film. The cat. They can love the cat.
Silencio, Bruno. I dug it. I'll watch it again probably, mostly because I have a toddler and you don't watch any movie just once. So I'm going to take a divergence here into other Disney stuff, and I'm just going to talk about the current show my toddler is stuck on, and it is oddly fantastic. And that is The Rocketeer.
Oh boy.
No, because they have done yes.
Oh boy.
They have done a good job tying this kid's show into the original movie and having it make sense. Now, why the Rocketeer legacy skipped his son, skipped his grandson, and went straight to his great-granddaughter is beyond me.
Girl power.
But this 7-year-old rocks that pack. And you know what? They got some funny jokes in there. They got jokes like Laurel and Hardy as two of the thieves.
Okay, that's fun. That's a good thing for kids. I am predisposed to those words. I was tortured growing up. One of my sister's favorite movies is The Rocketeer. I do not like The Rocketeer at all.
Look, I have never seen the original Rocketeer.
Some people I'm sure are watching and going, blasphemy, watch it! You should watch it. You should watch it without me.
Okay, here, let me upset some Disney fans here. I've never seen The Black Cauldron.
Okay.
I have named some Disney movies. I've probably never seen them. I have not seen most of Disney's catalog.
Fox and the Hound.
I've seen that one mostly because Bella wanted to watch it and then was scared.
Sword of the Stone.
No.
Madam Mim. Madam Mim makes that movie worth it. I like Madam Mim. She's fun. They should do more with her at the parks. Madam Mim all the way.
There's a lot of people they should do more with at the parks. There's a lot of people who should get more exposure than their meet and greet. Merida.
I did not like Brave. I'm sorry, Brother Bear. Also, because the new Pixar movie is doing it again, but this one looks really fun. I like that she turns into a giant red panda. I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, see, Brother Bear is one of my favorite movies.
I like Brother Bear. Brave is just Brother Bear, 2.0.
Yeah, but I've also named my dog after Brother Bear, so.
Yes, I'm aware.
And its miserably delicious sequel.
I've never seen Brother Bear 2, and I'm okay with that.
You don't need to. You really, really don't need to. But you know what? Much like Brother Bear, this episode's getting a little long in the tooth.
I have one thing to add. One thing to add, just in case people I haven't forgotten you, if anyone happens to pay attention or listening, a little Halloween Horror Nights update for y'all. We've got some announcements recently. Jack's back. We all knew that was going to be the case, and he's here to terrorize you. If any of you happen to be going down to Florida and happen to be staying at Cabana Bay Universal, if you're taking some time off of Disney, there's going to be a Jack experience there, photo meet and greet that's going to be great. You can take your picture in a giant blender. Well played. Also, house announcement, Haunting a Hill, Netflix's The Haunting of a Hill House will indeed be at Halloween Horror Nights. This is rumored, heavily rumored. It will indeed be there. And we have, so that brings our house count to 4. I use the quotations because we have 2 official announcements in Beetlejuice and Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House. But also, since Puppet Theater Captive Audience was announced, they just or refuse to acknowledge it. And we have confirmation of Welcome to Scary Horror in the Heartland, because you can see the queue being, the facade, not the queue, the facade being built from Men in Black's extended queue.
And that was Halloween Horror Update.
Never go alone. There you go. Don't worry, folks. I'm going to keep you all on the news. We got a lot coming. It's going to start. We're within striking distance. We're 2 months away. We are here. Hey, don't you do that. Don't you crow me. Don't you sad crow me. We are within striking distance, and it's going to be fast and furious. I got it all for you. I know we're Disney, but don't worry. The Diz Idiots got the Horror Nights news for you when you're ready.
Yes, that's a very disappointing sound effect. But until next time, I'm Dozer.
I'm Bruce.
We're the Diz Idiots. We're the idiots. So you don't have to be.